What's going on, my friends? Leo Cano here with today's episode of Seven Figures Club podcast. So small business owners and all those side hustlers around, you're going to want to take notes because there's a lot of software out there today that can help you build your empire. And so the decision-making process, it's a little bit more difficult. There's a lot of options out there. We're going to talk about sales funnels today. We're going to talk about creating great offers to be able to, provide your product or service or informational product, whatever it is that you provide your clients. A sales funnel is going to help you do it. And so the question is, what is the right software to help you make that happen? And so today we've got Jordo MEDERICH. He is the founder and CEO of dropfunnels.com, which is an all-in-one marketing platform to build your sales funnels, courses, websites, and more, all on a WordPress infrastructure for infinite organic traffic, Google rankings. He's also an investor and father of 3 boys with his wife, Julia. Jordo, welcome to the podcast.
There are over 32 million businesses in the U.S., and over 90% of them will never break 7 figures in annual sales. So how do we as entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs break into that 7 figures club? This podcast will relentlessly share the secrets, strategies, and tactics I've used to create 3 multi-7 figures businesses and bring in even more successful entrepreneurs than me to share their inspirational stories and tactics to success. You can create your dream business and life right now. So buckle up and let's go.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, we are excited to connect and learn a little bit more about how to create offers that convert and all of the little details that matter. So obviously sales funnels have become, what used to be maybe a more technical term, and now it's really become an important part of building any type of business. And clearly you're an expert at it. And so we're interested in learning more about sales funnels. And in particular, you are the founder, CEO of dropfunnels.com. Tell us a little bit about what led to creating, launching, and founding dropfunnels.com, which is growing extremely fast, and a lot of users are having incredible success with it.
Sure. Yeah. So sales funnels have been around for 100 years, right? They've been around for a very long time. If you walk through Walmart, Target, or any store, you're really walking through a sales funnel. So really for those who are maybe brand new to the concept of sales funnels, it's kind of like a website, right? There are pages on the internet, but the goal is to logically guide the user to a purchasing decision. It helps to indoctrinate, to warm them up, and to lead them towards your primary offers. And so really, and we can break these down here shortly, there's only 4, what I call the 4 funnel archetypes. You can put every possible digital business into 4 funnel archetypes, and that's it. Some people say there's thousands of different types. No, there's only 4. So we can really simplify a lot of our marketing and get more sales by thinking about subtraction instead of addition. So drop funnels essentially came about because I was using, kind of the old school WordPress, which powers 34% of the internet. It's the #1 ranking factor in Google. It's extremely powerful, but it's very complex. You better be a designer, you better be a coder, and it's hard, right? And your server could crash with any plugin update that you do. So I had that, and it was kind of this powerful but frail infrastructure, but it couldn't really do sales funnels. So I'd bolt on ClickFunnels, and I used ClickFunnels for a long time. Then I'd use, Kajabi for courses and this thing here. And I'd got into what I call duct tape overwhelm, which is I was literally duct taping my business together, and any weak link could break this down. And anyone who's that's
where I'm at, man. I got ClickFunnels, I got Kajabi, I got all the ads accounts with YouTube and Facebook. I got MailChimp for the email marketing. I got Zoho for my CRM. And so there's all these different moving pieces. And at some point, it'd be nice to not have to log into 10 websites to manage your business.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, there's a certain point in time at scale, and it's usually over $50,000 a month is my personal opinion, where there are specific tools that you'll need to bolt on to increase scalability. For almost any business under 50K, you really only need 1, maybe 2 platforms that you run all of your marketing through, and you can be just as successful doing that, sometimes even more successful doing that than trying to duct tape 10 things together. So I was doing that. I made that mistake. And then, obviously we're a competitor to ClickFunnels and the other sales funnel platforms. I found that that the culture and the vibe and the endless selling and the tactics and strategies used to sell products felt very icky to me, and it didn't resound with me ethically. So I decided one day, it's like, I'm cutting all ties away from that hype-filled, like, hustle culture type of world, and say, let's build a platform that doesn't exist, that lets you leverage the technology and power of WordPress, but with the ease and use of any other sales funnel builder, course builder, blog, website builder, and put it into one spot to drag and drop everything and simplify your business. So, probably on average, we save each user at least, like, bare minimum $1,000 a year at the bottom line, up to probably $10,000 to $20,000 a year, just by eliminating just software subscriptions by moving all into one spot. So I was really solving my own problem, and by extension, it happened to solve a lot of other people's problems as well.
Outstanding. So you're running, your own business, and you've got all these different tools and tactics and softwares that you're using to run the business. And at some point you realize, maybe there's a way to kind of not have to use so many different services and softwares, and you can create this all in one place. So for everyone who's not familiar with dropfunnels.com, and by the end of this podcast, you're going to be, if you're listening, and if you're serious about building and growing your business and joining the Seven Figures Club, what are some of the tools and services and benefits and features that a dropfunnels.com can do? And what are some of the, generic things that it eliminates to where you can do it all in one place?
Sure. There's probably a couple big movers, and depending on who's listening to this and what stage in your journey you're in. If you're just a beginner, obviously your focus is, I just want to make money, right? So you actually need to do more subtraction than addition and just focus in on the offer, right? Like, the offer is so critical, and you don't need 30-step funnels in order to sell one good offer. In fact, funnels, websites, all those things, they're just amplifiers of a good offer. So some of the primary focuses when you do have a good offer, and we could talk about offers too. I love talking about especially high ticket offers. I think it's the fastest way to set yourself financially free. It's faster than stocks, real estate, crypto. Well, especially crypto in this current market, but there's so much predictability around high ticket offers that's just so powerful and can be amplified by funnels. So there's really three primary reasons that someone would very likely want to be on DropFunnels versus anywhere else. Number one is very fast loading pages. If anyone is running paid traffic, especially to pages, if it's loading at any more than 3 seconds, you're losing sales, period. Like, you are hemorrhaging money. Amazon found that for every 100 milliseconds of latency, they could lose up to 10% conversion on specific pages. So the key here is speed, fast loading, especially for the user, where it can just pop up and can be there. So DropFunnels loads exceptionally fast. There's on average, it loads at under 2 seconds on a page, depending on how much is on the page, how many external scripts are being pulled, and those types of things. But it's very fast because it's on WordPress, and we host the site too. So you don't need, it's not a plugin, it's not a theme. You come in 30 seconds, you have your complete back office completely ready to go and ready for you to customize. So the SEO ability means that now you can rank your sales funnels in Google. So imagine people searching in Google and you can actually show up. There's no other sales funnel platform that can rank as fast as we can, because we're leveraging really kind of like an artificial intelligence, which is WordPress. It's, as I mentioned, it's the number one ranking factor in Google. So fast pages is critical. Being able to rank is critical. And probably the third thing is support. A lot of platforms really struggle with support. We happen to have a really, really powerful, we invest a ton in supporting all of our users. In fact, every user who comes in, they get access to our private Slack channel where they have direct access to me, to my team. They can ask questions anytime. They've got direct and fast technical support. So really, it's about supporting the entrepreneur through whatever stage that they're in, whether it's, hey, I really need to hone in and chop off 10% off of my page loading time, or, hey, I'm just trying to get an offer off the ground. I'm trying to make my first 10 grand a month. What are the strategies that I can hone in on to get there? So it's really that spectrum of entrepreneurs that we want to support.
Outstanding. So it's going to load faster. It's going to actually rank with SEO and different Google searches, which is huge. Let's kind of go back to the foundation of sales funnels and imagine, if we will, Jordo, that you're starting over and you're creating a sales funnel and so forth. And you talked about high ticket offers being one of the quickest ways. So for people who are they've got a small business, maybe they haven't understood or considered how powerful a sales funnel could be, what kind of funnel would you recommend they look at building out, and how would they incorporate a high ticket offer into that funnel?
Sure. So I think everybody has a high ticket offer within them. If you are selling any type of a service, you're selling your expertise, your knowledge, you've got a course, or you've got a particular service that you provide digitally, all of those can be built into high ticket offers. So for anyone who's selling a course for $50, $100, $500, you already have a $1, $2, $5, or $10,000 offer just waiting inside of you. And so what we need to sometimes do is eliminate the mental blocks and limiting beliefs that are keeping us from believing that we're worthy of asking and accepting that much money. It's the number one thing that I see people struggle with. And the moment that they close their first 5K, 10K deal over a phone call, they're never going to go back. So it's one of the most powerful things that you can experience as an entrepreneur. But I would say that no matter what, for anyone who's just starting out, and say you're trying to get to your first 10 or 30K per month, what you really need to have is one high ticket offer, and the average order value you want to shoot for is about $5,000, but it could be as low as about $3,000. So that could be 3 months at $1,000 a month, or it could be a one-time payment of $3K. You want to shoot for a bare minimum of $3,000 client value, because you only need 10 of those in a single month, which is possible for anyone to do, even in their spare time, to collect that amount of revenue from just 10 clients. And obviously only 6 if it was a $5,000 offer. And so the goal there is you want to bundle everything that could possibly be necessary into a singular decision for somebody to make. So it's not about, hey, choose this or this or this, or add these services, and we make things all kind of custom. That's one way to go about it. But in my opinion, if you can systematize and create a process, like a conveyor belt, right, of how you help someone to move from where they are to where they want to be, and put that all into one offer, when you make that pitch, it's not, which offer should I choose? Should I choose your $50 course or your $500, $500,000, $2,000 coaching program? It's, you have this one thing. It's $5,000. You get my courses, you get my consulting, you get my done for you, you get all of this wrapped in. And what you're going to find is that people are just as likely to buy a $5,000 offer as they would a $500 offer. So once we have that nailed down, and we can say, hey, I've got one clear high ticket offer, the goal to amplify that would be with a high ticket funnel, right? And the goal there is to get people to opt in for some piece of training, or it could be a lead magnet, could be some type of video, or it could be a mini course, could be a guide, blueprint, cheat sheet. You're going to exchange their information for some piece of value or training, or new awakening, like a breakthrough is what you want to be thinking of. And then from there, it automatically redirects them to another page where it's a video from you. You could shoot this on your cell phone, shoot it sideways, upload it. You can actually upload it directly to DropFunnels, or you could use Vimeo or Wistia, whatever you want, and host that on the page and say, hey, thanks for grabbing that. Here's how you use what you just claimed. And if you want us to just do this for you, go ahead and click down below to book a call with us to see if you're a good fit to work with us as a private client. It's one of the most proven and powerful sales funnels on the planet. It's probably the highest grossing, highest profit margin is a high ticket funnel specifically. So really one offer, one funnel, and we probably won't cover this in depth, but I always recommend one traffic source. Focus on one traffic source. You don't need to be on every platform all at once, especially at the beginning, because you want to be optimizing around the fewest possible variables instead of the most.
Well said. So we're putting together a high ticket offer, $3,000 to $5,000, hopefully $5,000. We're not doing custom, because if we do custom, it's going to slow the whole process down. Right. We're not going to be able to help a lot of people. It's a conveyor belt. It's a $5,000 high ticket offer. They come in, they exchange their information, their name, email address, maybe a cell phone number. They get in there, they get to access your free content. And then with that, hopefully they're scheduling a phone call with you to take that next step. With that, do you like, offering a lead magnet going into a low ticket offer of like a $37 or $97 thing? Or do you like just giving away that free content and then just moving them to the phone call next?
This is a very unpopular opinion that I'll state here, but I firmly believe that you should not focus on low ticket products until you're well over 50,000 a month in revenue on your primary high ticket offer. Again, what the effort that you're putting into selling a low ticket offer, which for anyone's context here is typically an offer under $100. So usually be like a $25, $50, maybe $100 offer. It's just as hard to optimize a low ticket offer as it is a high ticket offer. And I always say where the focus goes, the money flows. So what do you want to optimize around? Do you want to optimize around $5,000 sales or $50 sales? You're going to need 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more of a low ticket offer as you would a high ticket. So I always suggest for people is one clear high ticket offer for one specific niche market, and to optimize around that first. First of all, you're going to get way more cash flow in order to pay for paid ads later on and invest into some of those efforts if you do want to launch a low ticket product as well. But it's really going to build your belief around what's going to be required when the right time comes to do a low ticket offer. So my best suggestion, as I mentioned, is a bit potentially unpopular, but it comes through a lot of trial and error and failures and wisdom and winning, is to specifically focus on fewer variables than more. And really, once you're over 50K, maybe 30K around there, that's really the time to be moving into a low ticket offer. But again, the whole purpose, money is not made, and I hope everyone hears me on this, money is not made on low ticket offers. Money is made on back end offers, right? It's base, that's where the highest profit margin is. And so your only goal for a low ticket offer is to break even on your ad spend, right? It's called a self-liquidating offer. That's one of the 4 funnel archetypes. We only want to break even. So if our goal is
Jordo, do you think a self-liquidating offer is possible, with Facebook costs and YouTube costs, all these costs going up? Is it practical and is that realistic? Or is it more of, hey, I've got the low ticket offer, it's covering 30 to 50% of my ad spend and I'm feeling pretty good about that. How often do you think people are actually able to do a self-liquidating offer? I think 4 or 5 years ago, that was definitely something a lot of people were doing. To me, it seems like it's more difficult. You're in the trenches, you're an expert. What do you think right now?
I think it's extremely hard, which is why I say optimizing for a low ticket offer it's going to be very expensive. It might lead to a little bit of heartbreak depending on your veracity for failure and dealing with optimization of a particular low ticket offer. But it's very hard. And as I mentioned, it's the goal. Like your light at the end of the tunnel is to break even. It's not even to profit. Like you're in the 1% of 1% if you can be profitable on cold traffic to a low ticket offer. It's extremely hard. And so that's why the back end makes so much more sense. And it's why it makes more sense to get them there as soon as possible and not introduce any barriers in between.
Now, one of the things you talk about is this ethical sales strategy where you can really close at a 50 to 80% ratio with zero resistance. And for a lot of us who were creating offers, we want to get to that point. How do you do that? And what are some of the keys to making that?
Sure. Yeah, great question. This is, I think a lot of people are afraid of the concept of sales or being a salesperson because they feel like it's gross or that it's pushy. And that's really not what sales is about. Like that's the type of vibe. It's what we call leaned in energy. Where you're really pushing something, a square peg into a round hole and trying to get someone to buy something right now. But what I found, and I discovered this a couple of years ago, is as soon as you flip the tide entirely, you move from leaned in, I want to sell you this, I want to collect the card type of energy, especially when you're talking to someone, and instead reverse the roles entirely and be very leaned out. Like, hey, what are you looking to achieve? What is it that this could do for you over that amount of time? So it's pretty much, if you're doing sales calls, specifically leaned out energy is all about asking questions. I love that phrase, seek first to understand, then to be understood, meaning you literally shouldn't, other than, hi, how's your day? Which is still a question. You shouldn't have any statements for the first 70 to 80% of your call, or any type of high ticket conversation, strategy session, whatever. It should all be questions across the board because you're understanding them. That's what a doctor does. When my arm hurts, I walk in, I don't know what's going on. I just know I don't want this pain anymore. So they ask me question after question. What happens when you move this? What have you tried to fix this? here's my general diagnosis and prescription of what could solve this. And then you make the choice to step into that, but you don't say no to the doctor, right? So, but if the doctor's like, take this pill right when you walk in, take this pill, buy it right now, it's $500, it's going to solve this. You're going to be like, whoa, dude, like, hang on a second. Let's chill for a sec. And like, do you even know that that's really the problem? So people will tend to buy when they feel like they're being understood. They feel like someone understands their situation better than they understand it themselves and can describe it back to them, right? So that's the key to being an expert, is understanding what is the average of people that are coming through and what are they struggling with. And it's really powerful to lean back, and I can virtually guarantee and stake my name on it, your conversions will increase when you take this to heart, right? And to understand, ask questions, lean out, and you're going to see that people start to lean in and they start to be really interested in what you're offering and have way fewer objections and sales resistance.
Guys, that is a massive value bomb that Jordo is just dropping on you there. If you want to improve the quality of your life and of your business, improve the quality of your questions and stop pitching and presenting. It's not about you. It's about what you can do to help your client or prospect get the result that they want, that they need, that they're desperate to achieve. And if you make it all about you, they're going to move on and be like, that person can't help me. And so just a lot of value there that Jordo is saying. Ask them the questions. What a great example, right? You go into the doctor and the doctor's like, oh yeah, you've got a torn ACL. You need ACL repair surgery. He didn't do any scans. He didn't do any questions. He didn't do any assessment. He just tells you what you need, and he really has no idea. And that's what most people do in business and selling. And that's why 80% fail and 20% succeed. But if you want to get to the top, it's all about asking those questions. Well, Jordo, amazing value and so much, the case has been made so strong in today's world in 2022 going into 2023. You have to have a sales funnel. Doesn't matter what your product or services that you offer, a sales funnel makes it happen. And it makes it predictable when you can take paid traffic and convert it into paying customers and clients. So what's the next step that someone can take if they want to learn more about drop funnels and how it can work? And what are some of the resources available in the drop funnels community once you get set up? If you're, you have questions, or you're even just, you're great at putting offers together and sales funnels, what kind of content and resources does drop funnels have so that you can increase your odds for success building out this sales funnel?
Yeah, great question. So there's two different types of people. Some people really love to DIY. They love to build. They love to implement. They love to design and do all that. So I highly recommend that if anyone wants to try out the platform, you can go to dropfunnels.com and grab I cover your first 14 days for free. And we've got some incredible unlimited features to help those types of people who really want to DIY. For people who are busy and you value your time more so than wanting to tinker and change button colors, I've got an incredible design team who can actually implement a lot of these things for you. So you can certainly just reach out to us. If anyone wants to email me personally, if you're here this late in the podcast, it's probably vetted enough that it's worthy of providing. So thanks for listening in. It's Jordan.
Now that's value, guys. Take notes. This is super important.
So Jordan, Jordan at dropfunnels.com is my personal email. It goes to me. If you get a response, it's not a VA, it's actually me. And we can point you in the right direction to help you to get some things built. So whether you're a DIY type and you want to get in there and start implementing, building sites, blogs, courses, sales funnels, all of it's ready to go there. And there's some great training inside the portal to help you with that. And inside of our Slack workspace where you get to join, we've got 2 live coaching calls every single week. You can ask questions. You can ask questions 24 hours a day. We really care about supporting everyone on their journey. Or if you decide, hey, I don't want to build things, I just want the pros to handle it, reach out and we'll help you to get set up.
Well, that's amazing, guys. And clearly there are both types out there, both listeners, someone who really wants someone to guide them, hold their hand and give them some expertise, and others who they've been in the game a while, but they're looking for a better system. And as you and I were talking about before the show, I've been having issues with some of our sales funnel systems. So I'm excited to check it out. I know my YouTube advertiser's been telling me about that as well. Well, guys, make sure you take action, right? This is not a passive podcast. If you want to join the 7 Figures Club and the 5% of businesses and owners and entrepreneurs that earn over $1 million a year, 7 figures a year in sales and revenues, and take your business to that level, you need systems, you need processes, you need a sales funnel, and you need great software. Software is something you can leverage along with a team, and it sounds like Jordo's got an amazing team and the software. 2 of the keys to joining that 7 Figures Club. So go to dropfunnels.com. Check it out, look at the resources, make a decision for yourself. And especially, like he said, if you're under 50,000 in sales, or you're getting started, or you're new, like this is a service who incorporates a lot of different things in one and will save you money. So you don't have to subscribe to 5 different things. You can really get an all-in-one solution with your sales funnel. So go to dropfunnels.com. And once they do that, what's one last action item, Jordo, that they can take once they get in the system? What should be that maybe next step that they do as they get into drop funnels?
Boy, great question. I would say you need to essentially determine for yourself, what's the biggest mover for me? I'm a huge fan of software, and I love new tools. I think we all love that shiny object. But we need to go in with intention and say, what am I trying to achieve here, right? Because if we can ask better questions, we'll get better answers, just like we talked about with the sales conversation. So if you can go in and say, look, I need to get my sales funnel migrated into drop funnels. There's actually a one-click import from ClickFunnels, so you could move your stuff in pretty easily. It's like, I just want to get my speed increased by 10% or more so I can see the highest possible conversions. Then just focus your time in sales funnels. If it's like, hey, I want to get some SEO going, I want to really start getting ranked for my domain, then you'll probably want to start in sites and blogs. And so focus on the biggest mover for you. You don't need to do everything in there at once. Just focus on the biggest mover, and you can always add these other features into the arsenal as you go.
There it is, guys. Dropfunnels.com. Jordo, thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Are you looking for more 7-figure secrets, content, or even how you can launch your own recession-proof business? Then check out 7figures.com. That's the digit 7, FIGURES.com, where we share more videos, stories, strategies, funding solutions, entrepreneurial education, and even the secret business type that's recession-proof. Thank you for listening, and if you're finding value in our podcast, please give us a 5-star and invite others to join the club.